homes from there. One was moved to Church Street, and the other one was moved on Kyer. And then they built Roosevelt School. But if you look at the picture that's in City Hall, you'll see that the East Newark firehouse is still on the other side of the road. It's as vivid as can be if you get a chance to see the pictures.
Now, you also mentioned that there was a mill down here.
There was a mill right here on Lyons Street on the corner of Lyons and Hill. I don't remember the gentleman's name that ran it, but his water wheel turned from the waters of the Erie Canal. And they have a viaduct that runs behind the East Newark Grill, behind the Superette, down to Hill Street, and then it fed his wheel, and then it dumped back in where these houses are now on the end of Lyons Street. That was another raceway, later on filled in with refuge from the village. That mill ran behind the building, the wheel was, and as it came out of the viaduct down into the mill wheel, then it dumped back behind the houses on the end of Lyons Street, back into the raceway and into the canal again. But I don't know the name of that mill right off of my head. The only other mill that was in East Newark was the Graff Mill. That was run by Art Graff's dad, and I can't remember his first name. Here all our lives.
So you're probably pretty glad to see us try to save it, aren't you?
Oh, I tried to get this to get going a long time ago. Nobody wanted to do it.
It's a shame. This is incredible history right here. There's only one other place that equals this, and that's in Lockport, where there were 5 locks together. Mm-hmm. Right here we got 3, and it was 2 years ago totally buried in trees and brush and fires, and we're getting there. We hope to have a trail going right down through here with some nice signage in the near future, so that story you just told me will be told. Oh, there's one other thing you told me about. What's right under here?
As kids, there was a gate. One of the gates was lying in the water, but since been filled over, so there's probably still a gate underneath the fill on the north side lock. We as kids used to push that gate.
Push it back and forth.
Yeah, we pushed it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How would you like to push it again? No, I mean,
I'd like to see it up again.
Would you think kids would get it?
It was still in that ring up there. I unbelievably half unbolted that ring when I was a kid.
Huh.
I made many a trip up that bank, having help my dad hold the corn and get stuff ready for the store and so forth.
And when you had your victory garden here, there was water still in the canal.
There's water in here, yeah.
Yeah.
Not, there was a driveway or a pathway through here because Mr. DeCracker had filled it in. And then his brother, Bill DeCracker, built that shop over there where the guys are doing the doll-ups now.
Yeah.
That was his shop. But they tore all this down and put that, those slab rock there that comes down Lyons Street, that was put in there by the DeCracker boys. And during the war, we didn't have any gas, so we'd come down here and work for Mr. DeCracker, and he'd slip us a couple gallons of gas to put in our Model A's so we could go play when we were youngsters.
That's great. Wow.
But that lock is just a shame that it had to go get, they did tear part of it down here, and I don't know what you want to call these slabs, I call them. These guys that built these things were stonemasons and a half.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I mean, even the new locks on the Barge Canal are in worse condition than these are.
That's right.
These things will last as long as time.
That's for sure.
But I seen that one. That lock on that side had more water in it than this one.
Did it? Okay.
That one, then they filled it. Heck, I've been underneath all of this lock. It's probably a good 4 feet high under there if you can get in there. And you can crawl all the way through. I've crawled the length of this.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, I've crawled the length of this one and the one up there. We lived on these things. I mean, we were on the center of this one all the time. We'd shimmy each other up to get up there.
Was it clear back then?
Yeah, it wasn't all grown over. All these trees have come since.
Okay.
In the 40s, it was all clear. Then they built the garage here. That was on a mistake. I don't know if you know the history of that or not, but when they built that garage, it was because there was a mistake in the deeding. And the man that built the garage, he owned the house, and he encroached on the land up here on the edge, which belonged to Drew's Hotel. So they swapped a driveway between my dad's store and the house where Don Young lives up here, and to build so you wouldn't have to tear this building down and start over. So that used to be a right-of-way to go to the livery stable. That's why that right-of-way was there, for the mules and whatever to go over to the livery to change out the teams and stuff. But the East Newark Hotel is as old as time. They saved it somehow. I don't know how. But it got saved.
Oh, thank you. Here down with us is Louie DeJohn, and when we dedicate Lockville Park with all our signage and a new trail and perhaps a lock gate someday, we're going to have Louie down here to say a few words, right, Louie?
Right. I hope to. I'm as proud of East Newark as anybody that ever lived here. We always had a slogan when we were kids, East Newark against the world, and I think it still holds.
Well, we won't let him forget Lockville.
No,
we will
won't.
not let him forget Lockville.
Lockville this is Newark as far as I'm concerned.
That's right.
Let's not do to this what we did to downtown.
That's right. We're going to save it. We're going to save it. And we'll be down here with a nice plaque pretty soon. That's going to be made, and we'll have you over here when we put it up. I'll have you read it first to make sure it's right. In fact, you be the judge. Okay. Thank you.
This, as you go down through here, if you go on the other side of the West Shore Railroad, there's a whole bunch of dredging in there that's all blue clay. That when they come down through here, it's all blue clay. So that's one of the references to the Blue Cut Road, or where they got the name Blue Cut. That's where when they cut through here with the canal, and they cut down Fink Road and Cole Road, they cut blue clay. And see, then I don't know if you know how Marbletown Creek ends up in the canal. It goes across the road at Walmart, goes into a big holding pond on the north side of the West Shore Railroad, and then it takes a canal, it takes a creek, goes down and feeds what is the nature center, the Blue Cut Nature Center. That's part of the waters that start out in Marbletown, New York.
Oh, interesting.
So that it all comes together, because when we were kids, I can take you to the middle of that. This splits down here in the middle, and between the swamp on this side and the canal, there's a high plateau in there. And if I'll take you down there, I'll show you our old log cabin, or what's left of it, that we built when we were kids. So it'd be 70 years ago.
You know, on the other side of the West Shore, on the north side here, there's a segment of Clinton's Ditch still there.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
We played down in there. We shot a lot of animals down through there. There's a lot of quicksand on this side of as you go north of the West Shore Road. You go down almost to where Walmart is. If you went to go across there, you ain't coming out of there. It's all quicksand.
Is that right?
But that's where it turned, right there.
Yep.
And went under the bridge.
Well, thank you very much.
As we go up, I'm going to go with you to see. This was a ditch when I was a kid.
Oh, sure.
And then they put this culvert in. But we sat here many a night catching carp right here. So I learned to swim right here. We caught a lot of fish here.
Oh,
and
thank you.
Grew a lot of vegetables right here.
Yeah, right over here is where the vegetable patch was.
Yep.
Right up in there. It's all treed over now.
All gone because of undergrowth and so on.
Well, we're going to clean this out.
But this path has been here forever.
Has it?
longest I can remember.
And your garden sat right up where all
Right
those...
up on top of the lock area here.
Yeah, the Victory Garden.
Yep.
Yep.
We drew it during the war. But